Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A Crucian passenger dies while parasailing off St. Thomas. Is she dead or not? Someone drops the ball after an accident. And students at Ricardo Richard celebrate American Education Week. Don't miss this one. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, there was a horrible parasailing accident on St. Thomas yesterday. 60-year-old Beatrice Krafchak was parasailing yesterday afternoon in St. Thomas, along with her daughter, 34-year-old Danielle Hersey. Unfortunately, Miss Krafchak fell to her death, and her daughter was seriously injured. Meanwhile, celebrity crews terminated their parasailing excursions after the accident. The incident happened at about 1 mile south of Water Island. Governor John DeYoung and Tourism Commissioner Beverly Nicholson Doughty both expressed their condolences. And in other news tonight, this week is American Education Week, and students at Ricardo Richards received special guests of our community earlier today and asked them about their profession. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report with his new co-worker, Fijol.
Thank you very much, Jerome. I'm here with Miss LaRock, who's one of the guidance counselors here at Ricardo Richard School in Barron Spot, and this is one of my favorite schools, I have to tell you. This is, National Education Week?
American Education Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great, and, you know, usually they get to people in the community, like myself, to talk or read to the students, and I never turn them down. I was here last year where I read a short story, and today I'm going to be talking to, I believe, some 6th graders and possibly some 4th graders. Miss LaRock, explain to us a little bit about American Education Week.
Well, Wes, this week we have a lot of activities scheduled. It is American Education Week, and today we are having our Community Outreach Day, and this is where we invited individuals from the community to come out and talk to our students or to read to our students and letting them know the importance of having an education, as well as in careers that they may be interested in. And that's where you were invited to come in to speak to our students or to read to them, to show them that education is important and you have many opportunities out there, and you can select whatever career you would want to be in.
I've been working for ABC for a little over 12 years now for the network on television. 5 years in New York City. After I graduated college, San Francisco State, that's the first big job I had in broadcasting. And I used to go for sandwiches and coffee, you know, because I was just breaking into the big producers. I used to take 3 trains to work and 3 trains home. All right, well, I'm going to start with you since you're so close. And what's your name?
Fijol.
Fijol, okay. And, of course, this is the 4th grade, right? And
Yes.
How old are you?
9 years old.
All right, Fijol, go ahead and ask me any questions you'd like to ask me.
Why did your mom move down there?
My mom moved here because she retired from Prudential Insurance Company. And like I said, in New Jersey, it does get cold in the winter. And this is a beautiful place to live. And we had visited here before when I was around your age. And that's where my mom decided to stay.
Said,
How I get my news.
yeah.
All right. I get my news, believe it or not, from people like you in the community who watch Channel 8 every night and say something happens. Let's face it, some bad things do happen, like gunshots. Some good things happen, too. And then when we get a call to the newsroom, right, 778-5008, extension 226, we get tips from you people. Sometimes more tips from you than the police department.
If there was a gunshot close to your house, what would you do?
Well, that's a good question because I happen to live in Christiansted Town, and I've heard some gunshots in my time, and I usually hit the floor. But I always try to keep my phone close to me no matter where I am, and I automatically call 911, Tanisha.
I would be scared. I would be wild and go run in the room.
Well, you know, I understand being scared is nothing to be ashamed of, but sometimes when bad things happen, you have to keep your head on and make sure that the good people can help that bad situation out by calling the police department. I want to ask you a question, news reporter Camacho, okay? When you go out on stories sometimes, like bad stories, do you ever get scared of the bad guys?
No.
You don't?
No.
Why not? You're brave, huh? Wow, I wish I could be like you when I grow up, all right? You're a good guy, man. All right, give him a hand.
What is it like working in the studio with other people?
Oh, boy, Quincy, I love you. You hear that, Jerome? Coof, and all you guys that work with me in the newsroom? Boy, we go at it like Tom and Jerry sometimes, I got to tell you. Raul, all you guys, I'd like to say that it was a romance made for heaven, but it's not. We go at each other like cats and dogs sometimes, but we are one small, tight family. And anyone from the outside that tries to break that family, forget about it. That's why we're number one, and we have no competition. We go at each other, but we are the best.
All right, Jerome. I had a fun time at Ricardo Richard Elementary School. My name is Faja Merton for
News Channel 8!
And thanks, Figel, and welcome to the team. And believe it or not, a woman who law authorities, the media, and lots of others thought was dead is very much alive after a tragic accident. Police spokesperson Melody Rames tries to explain what went wrong.
The Virgin Islands Police Department has corrected information previously released regarding the condition of a woman who was struck by a vehicle on Crum Bay Road on St. Thomas near Total Gas Station on Monday, November 14th. According to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center staff, the woman remains under doctor's care for her injuries. The traffic enforcement commander was advised by the case officer that the woman died. However, that information was incorrect. Assistant Police Commissioner Raymond L. Hyman is taking all steps necessary to ensure that erroneous information is not passed on to the public again. We apologize to the victim, her family, and the Virgin Islands community.
And thanks, Melody Rames of the Virgin Islands Police Department. Well, yesterday, a home invasion suspect gave police a false name. His name is Richard Horsford of Estate Hannah's Rest. Family members struggled and subdued Horsford until police arrived minutes later. The incident happened yesterday morning in the Little Princess area. Richard Horsford's bail is set at $75,000, and he was sent to Golden Grove Prison. And when we come back after this break, information from the Red Cross you don't want to miss. Stay with us. And let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight.
In your Caribbean report tonight, we start in St. Lucia, where Prime Minister Stephenson King has clearly announced that November 17th, today, is nomination day. Parliament was dissolved last week, making way for the general elections of November the 28th, which Prime Minister Stephenson King announced this date Sunday night during a rally of his ruling United Workers' Party, which seeks a second consecutive term of office. The United Workers' Party won 11 of the 17 seats in Parliament's general election in 2006, but lost 2 seats following the resignation of 2 members of Parliament over the course of that term. Its main challenger is the St. Lucia Labour Party, which won 6 seats. Prime Minister King has announced that he intends to widen the party's lead. However, the St. Lucian Labour Party has predicted that the wind of change, which has seen leaderships topple in many Caribbean islands, will also see this incumbent removed from office. And turning now to Cayman Islands, Georgetown, where Monday, November 14th, authorities said they had found the apparent remains of the victims of a plane crash which occurred in Cayman Brac late Sunday. The bodies were discovered close to the site where the light aircraft went down at around 11 p.m. in a thickly forested area of the Bluff. Police said that it appears that there were 2 people on board. Law enforcement officers and fire crews were dispatched to the scene of the crash. Cayman's Brac District Commissioner Aaron Scott said that little was known about the aircraft's origin. He said that, however, the flight did not originate from Cayman Brac. Nobody knows where the plane came from, he stressed. The Royal Cayman Islands Police and and the Cayman Islands Civil Aviation Authority are continuing their investigations. And finally, in Kingston, Jamaica, 1 week after his triumphant return to Jamaica as a self-made millionaire, Dragon's Den entrepreneur Levi Root is back in London being sued for more than £300,000 by a former friend who claims he is the real inventor of the famous reggae sauce. The London court heard claims that Jamaican-born Tony Bailey, 52 years of age, that it was his jerk chicken recipe that Mr. Root took on the smash hit Dragon's Den television show in 2007, winning a £50,000 investment. Dragon's Den is a British-made television show very similar to ABC's Shark Tank. Mr. Root told the Dragons on the show the jerk chicken sauce recipe was his grandmother's and that it had been handed down to him. But Mr. Bailey claims this is untrue, and now he wants his share of the profits made from the sales.
And that's your Caribbean Report for tonight. And it's that time of the year again. News Channel 8's Wes Small is with the Red Cross officials to help fill the boots.
Thank you very much, Jerome. It's that time of year again, time for the Red Cross to get their boots filled back up. That's right. To my right is Miss Marla Matthew, no stranger to Channel 8, always giving us hurricane advice. And thank God, knock on wood, looks like we're going to dodge this season. But Miss Matthew is the Disaster Preparedness Director for the entire territory for Red Cross, flanked by Mr. Carrion, who is the business manager here, filling up the boot like we try to do every year. And we're going to have different posts where people could drop by over this weekend period. Miss Matthew, please tell us what filling the boot is all about.
Okay, Filling the Boot is a partnership between the American Red Cross and the Virgin Islands Fire Services in a fundraising effort to help us to meet our critical expenses that we have incurred as a result of our local community disasters. Wes, as you know, throughout the year, we've been fortunate to be blessed by not having any of our tropical storms and hurricanes that have affected our island tremendously, but we continue to respond to single family and multiple family fires. And throughout the month, we've already have recorded 8 families that have already been served between October and November. And to meet those needs, American Red Cross depends on our community to give. This is a local fundraising effort, and so that we ask our community to support the Red Cross so that we can meet the emergency needs of individuals who are suffering.
Very nicely put. And Mr. Carrion, your point of view on this.
Yes, we appreciate Channel 8 giving us the opportunity to reach out to the community. And for this fundraising event will be Fill the Boot, which will be Friday, November the 18th. We're going to start off at 12 noon all the way to 6 p.m. The doors of the Red Cross will be open. We'll have people here to take your pledges. So we just ask the community to partner with the Red Cross and give. And when they see the firemen and the volunteers and the different intersections, to please give, donate. Any amount makes a difference, so change somebody's life.
I hate to be devil's advocate, but there can be a lot of fakes out there. How do we know it's official? And the boot, anybody could get a black boot. I have to put that out. So how do we make sure that we're giving our money to the right boot in the right area?
From 4 to 6 p.m., we'll have our volunteers with the firemen out at 3 different intersections here on St. Croix. They'll be here on Sunny Isles. They'll be also at 5 Corners and at Mars Hill intersection. Each volunteer will be identified by their badges, and they will have a Red Cross vest. And the firemen, of course, they have the uniforms. So those are the time and different sections where people can make their contribution.
Right here.
Right here in Sunny Isles intersection.
Like rush hour.
Rush hour. Well, the office here will be open from...
So you can always come here.
Yes, could always come here and give. But at
4 to
these
6 rush hour.
Rush hour.
Will be here.
Sunny Isles intersection, 5 Corners intersection, and Mars Hill intersection.
And Mars Hill. That's kind of alien to me, speaking of Mars. What's a better word for the Mars Hill area?
Hannah's Rest, right?
Hannah's Rest area. By Ann Abramson's bus terminal.
Correct.
And so forth. Thank you very much. All right. And now for more information, we could always call.
For more information, call 778-5104. We want you to begin calling to give your pledges. If you are unable to fill our boot, you can do so by phone. We will accept you. Call 778-5104. Tomorrow, we will be on at the JC Communications Group, aisle 95, several of the radio stations. We will be there tomorrow making appeals on on aisle 95, the mongoose, cats, Emmett, throughout the day. And we ask you to please call in. We need your help.
Good. I know former Senator Bilardo has been involved with that media blitz as well. Is there a website?
No, we do not have a
No
website
problem.
at this time, but you can feel free to call,
Okay.
or you can ask for info at arcinfo.usvi-redcross.org.
Thank you very much. At the American Red Cross St. Croix chapter, please fill up the boot so we can help those who are having a rough time helping themselves. With Mr. Carrion and Miss Matthew, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And carnival season is coming up next. Stay with us on Channel 8. It's also time for the Crucian Festival Committee to gear up for the carnival season. Here's Wes with more.
Jerome, I am here now with Davidson Charlemagne, and he is, of course, the president of the Crucian Festival Committee. Hard to believe that it's time once again. And I know you want to put out your website. You have other issues going on and some information about your committee. I see y'all are meeting here at the office of Baron Spot on a basis. So tell us what is going on with that.
Again, Wes, I want to say good evening to the listening audience. Again, you know, it's a rough time this year. We have a lot of financial problems. Again, we just have to work with what we got. And again, we're going to have to give the people a festival.
Yeah.
Right. So we had to do some trimming on the edges, to, you know, adjustments to make sure that we can give you good quality entertainment and service. One of the your entertainments that we had to downsize on was your Bannerama and Party Monarch. That stuff we had to cancel because, again, financially we could not sustain that, so we had to clip that.
Isn't that the one Toby D wins every year?
Right, right. Well, he didn't compete last year. And again, it's sad because it's a new thing that we brought in, and we want to see it, you know, keep going. But this year, we will not be able to host that party
no
Monarch on Bannerama, right?
All right.
But again, your Calypso Monarch show, they're going to have Calypso tents. The Calypsonians are going to upon themselves to do tents around the island in different clubs, and that's a good thing because again, we would want to have just the finals. And since they heard that, they came together, I guess, and that's a great thing, working together, that they're going to do the tents and we'll do the finals. So, you know, collaborative effort that we get both parties to come to agreement. And with that, we're going to raise their fees. We're going to have their first place prizes. Again, it's still in negotiation, but we're going to go from $7,500 to $10,000. So, you know, it have a give and take in everything. That's one thing. We are also now, we're kicking off our festival this year. It's going to be a new thing now. We're going to kick off this year to Herbert Gregg. Yeah, you heard it, Herbert Gregg. December 3rd, we're hosting our kickoff, I would say mini kickoff from the original kickoff from Crucian at Herbert Gregg. Because, you know, a lot of those folks at Herbert Gregg don't get the chance to come out to enjoy the festival.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, it's something I've been in the making for years. Miss Vera Falou and myself we were trying to get us off the ground, and now her acting director for Herbert Gregg, Miss I think you know her husband who works upstairs from you, Poppy Love. You know, she called me up and I told her, yeah, we got to work on this, and we got it now. Finally, we look like we're going to be off the ground, and we want all participants of the parade who comes down in the adults parade, even children's parade, to make contact with me or her at Herbert Gregg, because we want to get like small little troops to parade around the grounds during that time. You know, it's gonna be emulating our actual festival. We're gonna have ribbon cutting, we're gonna have ceremonies, we're gonna have a grand marshal, we're gonna the whole 9 yards. Steel pan,
See, that's
you know,
good, 'cause Vera
quadrille.
Falou, she used to be, her and Mr. Bastian
Right,
used to be in
that's
charge
correct.
of the committees and
Yes,
stuff.
You're gonna have it. The quadrille, you have quadrille dancers, your quadrille music, you know, Quelbe music. Everything is gonna go down like a
Good.
real festival.
And we'll have the king and queen and prince and princess shows.
That's correct.
Right.
You're gonna have, again, like I said, you have the opening of the village is December 29th, and the ending is January 8th. Pay in mind, I know a lot of rumors was going around. We're gonna have a short festival, 5 days. That's a negative. We're gonna make sure we give the people, especially in a time like this, where you have a lot of strain and suffering with the economy. That's the time to get loose and try to relieve your stress.
All right. And you know that y'all will see me for Juve, that's for sure. But besides that, you'll be giving us weekly updates.
Definitely.
And the website to go to
is stxfestival.com. Again,
easy.
check it out. By this weekend, we should have up your entertainment. Again, we have a lot of great entertainment going on. We have all our local bands and outside bands. Again, there's one thing, again, I want to mention. You know, we had the earthquake with Haiti. And, you know, the people are still suffering. And this year, what we did to make a little changes, we're going to bring one of the big Haitian bands, one of the biggest Haitian bands, T-Vice. That's out of Miami, but they're Haitians, all Haitians. They're like really one of the greatest Creole bands out there. So the Haitian people, I know, it is a tribute to them, you know, just to show that, you know, as the Virgin Islands, we as a Caribbean people, we are just one people, you know.
And the theme for this year
is celebrate the Crucian Carnival flavor for Festival 2011-2012.
All right. Like I said, Mr. Charlemagne and I, or someone here at News Channel 8, will be giving you updates on a daily and a weekly basis. We look forward to a nice, safe festival carnival season. And since this is on the internet, YouTube, millions of people are watching this, and they will be coming down to enjoy in our festivities. Be safe and be well. Yes, sir.
Again, one more thing, again, Wes, so I don't forget, in Christianstead, we're going to start our mini village. Our mini village is going to start, it'll be December 10th and 11th. That's the Saturday and the Sunday. Your night parade is the Sunday. So all the individuals who take part in the night parade, it's on, and we're going to have a great, great, great festival.
All right, so we'll get back to you, Mr. Charlemagne. Good job.
Thanks,
Continue the good work. These are rough times, but we're still going to be partying this holiday season. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.